the world is a very weird place right now, and especially if you live in Ireland, like we're going through one of the harshest, if not like harshest lockdowns in the world. It's the 14th of March in the evening, and we're still in a level 5 lockdown for from January to probably at least June at this rate. But since the start of the year, there doesn't seem to be any light at the end of the tunnel, and this is not just a thing that's confined to Ireland. Like, but this is a global thing in terms of lockdowns and in terms of people's freedoms being taken away from them, and just people's freedom of movement taken away from them. Like maybe you feel a bit trapped, like you feel a bit anxious, maybe you feel like you don't know what to do, like you feel lost, you feel stressed, and maybe you are not in a good place mentally. And I'll jump on here for the next 15 minutes or so because I'm in my car right now in a car park for my old job in the pitch black, and I'm gonna chat some shit like and give you a bit of an internal narrative made external made for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So as I said, I'm in a car in my car park in my old job. Good English, is it? I don't know. But it's windy, it's wet and raining, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty cozy in my car. But like, what I want to say is that like life might not be going your way right now. Like you might be sad, you might be miserable, you might be depressed, and like that's okay. Like not everyone is going to have good days, and I suffer with this. Like especially the last week or so. Like people seem to think that I've this great positive attitude and positive outlook and everything, and that I'm okay and I'm strong and I'm mentally resilient. But like there are many occasions where I'm just not that. Like that like makes me so much, it makes it so much harder that people expect me to be this guiding light in the darkness 100% of the time. Like always looking at the positive side, always look at the bright side. Like never miserable, never unhappy, never always disciplined. And the fact of the matter is that there are days where I do ruin my diet. Like there are days where I go off track and don't do anything. Like there are days where I'm miserable and I get nothing done. And it's normal, man. Like it's normal. It's about acknowledging them. Like it's about minimizing the damage control, and it's about if this becomes a habit or if this becomes a thing of you going off the rails, like where you are not being happy, maybe you need to look at the bigger picture and really come up with a solution because if there's something going wrong in your life, like that's not great. And I want to say as well that like it's okay to speak to people. Like it's okay not to be positive. Like it's better to offload or share your opinion than it is to repress things and hold them down, because if you hold things down and you repress them, like they will build up and up and up and up and up and get worse. And I've always taught this but never understood like why people don't share things, and like why don't people speak about their emotions. Like if you talk about the way you feel, like you speak about something like that puts you in the pain or anguish, like there's the psychological technique called labeling, which is where you bring up your emotions and verbalizing them, and the power is then stripped away by them. Like if you're scared about something or maybe you feel a bit anxious, like it's the best to talk about it to someone, and it takes the power away out of those feelings and the emotions, and it makes them a million times better. It's from this book called Never Split the Difference and Hostile Negotiation. Like, for example, if I was trying to negotiate with you right now, you should loan me €1,000. And I understand I'm just some guy doing a podcast, whatever. But you probably think I'm going to run away with the money. But if you just send me €1,000, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like I'm labeling with your emotions. Like I'm saying that if you think that this is going to probably happen to you, like I'm empathetically listening, and I'm saying that, oh, you're probably scared, like I would be scared if you're bringing it to the surface. So it's important to speak about things in these times. Like if you have like an issue or you're upset, like talk about it with someone and realize that if you got a problem, like people are good at solving problems. People are good at solving problems. Like humans are problem solvers. Like we get joy out of solving problems. Like we get joy out of helping others. And if you got a problem, like just share it. Like you got to share it with your friends, like whatever it is. Like get over your ego and realize that you are not sharing your issues if you're not asking for other people's opinions and things like that. It's cowardice. Like you were too scared because you were worried about judgment. Like you're worried about not appearing like the big man. Like you're worried about your ego, like telling you not to do these things because you were scared of what people might think of you. And having said that, like this is always like baffled me with people. And I always think that like true bravery comes from like sharing those things and not from giving a fuck about what other people think. Like true bravery like comes from being open to others and putting yourself on the line emotionally and opening up about being vulnerable. Holding stuff and repressing stuff down is a sign of weakness, and living your life in fear and all. It's it's going to do all it's going to do the damage to people around you because you're not going to be in the right headspace. Like you're probably taking out other people. Like it's going to make you miserable as well. Like because you hold all this shit in. Like it's going to come out some one way or another. So first and foremost, share stuff with other people. Like realize that your mates are probably not going to laugh at you. Like they might crack a joke once, but once they realize you're being serious, like they will probably listen and want to listen to you and help you out as well. Like realize that, especially today, like everyone's in the same boat. Like everyone like has these undulations like on how they feel, and everyone gets in the slump. And like by you sharing something to make it like show them that it's okay to share things like your emotions, and it could indirectly help them because they could also talk to you about things that are worrying them or things that are stressful. So it's good to get stuff off your chest. Like you hold it in within, like it's going to rot away you and on the inside. So yeah, um, especially with times like this, like it's so important to share things and talk about them, not be worried about the repercussions. And let's be real, like if you got friends that are gonna laugh at you for sharing stuff like that, like they aren't really your friends, aren't they? Like they literally are not your friends. But yeah, I just want to say that it's okay to feel like that. Like it's okay to feel stressed. It's okay to feel anxious. Like we all feel like that. Like we all go through it. Like I've had a day today where things just haven't gone my way. Like I haven't got a lot of work done. I haven't got everything I've ever wanted to do. But I've been procrastinating a lot of the day. I've been quite stressed out as well. Like I've put things off. And at the end of the day, like it's just about doing something and realizing that it's not every day. Like not every day's gonna be 100% productive, and not beating yourself over it either. Like do something, not nothing. Like I like to remind myself, like life is like a bicycle. Like if you're say let's riding a bike and you're riding in any given direction, you're going to be stable. Like but as soon as you slow down, you get a bit more unstable, and as soon as you stop, like you wobble and fall off. It's like life. Like if you stop, you'll lose momentum. You slow down, you'll fall off. You'll crash and burn. So just keep on doing something because nothing is dangerous. And this is one of the reasons why these lockdowns are so dangerous as well, because it's so easy to do nothing. Like if you are off work, sat at home with your own thoughts is a deadly combination. And it's why in a way I set up my like second Instagram page to provide some benefit to you and to keep myself staying like where there's like these tools to develop the nutrition and diet at home. And I think it's just important to be doing something and not nothing, because it saves you from this deep dark pit to go down, especially like if you're off work and don't have anything to be doing. Like the most important thing to do is to make sure that you're doing something. Like small wins are like absolutely imperative. Like it's why in the military, like you make your bed every single morning. Like why do you think in the military, like you're so pushed towards discipline so much? That because you're making your bed, like it's a small win, like a small thing you can do in the morning. It's like a system like you can put into place, and you're starting your day with a win. And like if you're starting your day right, that's why in the morning I make my bed like literally no matter where I am, like nearly all of the premise that it's a small win. And it's a great way to start the day. Like if you don't accomplish anything like except for making your bed, like that is a win itself. And like don't forget, like write it down, like cross it down. And if you look back on it, and like at the end of the day, you're gonna have this one thing that you've done. Even if you're at rock bottom doing nothing, like start by making these small wins. And if you aren't at rock bottom, like start by doing bigger things and so on, which will help you reach towards your goals. Like things are going to improve your life, improve your current circumstances, and improve the lives of others. So get a pen and paper, write something down, and write something that can be a win. Like every morning, for example, I'd write down either a physical or mental note. So walk, read, meditate. Those are my three goals. So I write down, I go for a walk, I read a book, and I meditate. And I read my goals, and every time I do, like one of those, I cross it off. But I do that most mornings, so why would I bother writing a list? Well, it's because it's reinforcing me a win. Like it's an easy win, and it's going to kickstart me into my day with these three simple wins. And like making your bed is like such a simple one to add as well. So like for making your bed, think about these famous people. These famous successful. Who can I add? Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Tony Robbins, Richard Branson. You know where I'm getting at. Like, but do you think these people live in these like dirty, like shithole houses with unmade, messy beds? Like, do you think they get up in the morning and leave everything messy everywhere? Like, of course they don't. Like, they probably get up and make their bed, their rooms are all tidy, like their house is all tidy because a cluttered house or a cluttered room is a reflection of yourself, and it's a reflection of your mind, and you're letting things be in chaos. So by making your bed in the morning, like focus on the small wins and these like little things, and don't slip into this trap of doing absolutely nothing, because honestly, that's the most dangerous thing that you could possibly do. Like by writing down your goals, like it doesn't have to be like big. Like write down things that you could do in the day, or something you can do in the day that improves your life or the life of someone else, or get closer to your long term goals, such as like maybe you can clean your house or do some washing up. You can then like reflect on it at the end of the day and just gradually like build off these small wins, and life will start to improve and gradually turn it around. Like the mind is a dangerous thing, man. Like the more you do behavior, the more likely you are to deep in these neurological pathways associated with these behaviors inside of your head. So let's say, for example, I have a coffee every single morning. Every after I get up, first thing I do is go grab coffee. So like I realize, I like the coffee, so I do it again. So I get a nice caffeine buzz, and then I do it for a third day and a fourth day in a row. And before I know it, it's a part of an automatic routine. Like I just automatically ingrained into my brain to do it every single day now, because like, every time I've done it, like I've deepened the neurological pathways that I've just made into a habit. Like the same thing occurs with good habits and bad habits. Like, if you do something bad, you're procrastinating. Like if you're scrolling through social media every 10 minutes, like if you're scrolling through in the toilet, like you're binge eating, you go off your diet, you lie, you cheat. The more times you do it, the more, maybe like if it's once, 2 or 3 times, the more likely you are to repeat that behavior. Like it's like say I'm gonna go a bit off course here, but it's like cheating on a girlfriend. Like why do people cheat on their girlfriends? Like, is it because they want something novelty? Like, do they want excitement? Or like, why would I suggest to not cheat on your girlfriend? Well, you might be thinking, well, because it's a moral reason, because I don't know, it's morally wrong. Like, and the other person's going to be really hurt or upset, or maybe you could give them STI, or if you're selfish, it's not that reason at all. The number one reason, that which obviously has a component in it, but the main reason I would say to people in terms of their girlfriends, boyfriends, partners, whatever, and why I don't think you should do it, is because if you want to sleep with other people, just break up with them. Like it's the more times you do something, like the more normal it becomes, the more likely you are to repeat the behavior. Let's take the application that you're 20 years old and you cheat your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is, and then you cheat and they never find out. But that's like completely fine because they never find out. So then you break up eventually, you're in a new relationship, and sometime later you cheat again and they never find out, and that's completely fine. So this kind of like starts off a little bit of a snowball effect where you're like getting with girls and cheating on them, and then so on, so on, so on. And they never find out, which is great, all well and happy and whatever. But then you eventually, you're happy and settled, you have a family. This is like in the future now. So you have a big family, you've maybe you have a partner and you have kids or whatever, and a house. But you're happy and settled, but you're a little bit bored. So maybe you're on a night out and you're a little bit drunk. So you cheat again. And let's say your partner does find out this time. Your life has then been like tipped upside down and you've pretty much lost everything. Like think about the same situation, but think of the person who's never cheated before and they get a bit drunk, but they have a family. But this isn't even a consideration, like it's even a part of their vocab, like, or on their mind, like who is more likely than to cheat. So that just comes down to repeating a behavior again and again and again. And the neurological pathways around the behavior get deep. So it becomes normal, it becomes a habit if done enough times. So that's why I say you should be very careful about what you choose to do, like about when you pick up your phone, about the people you spend time with, like what you say yes or no to. Like you should be really careful with the activities you partake in and the activities you partake in on a daily basis, because the more you do them, the more likely you are to repeat them. Like the more times you repeat them, like the harder it is for you to stop doing them. And it goes both ways. Like, so the more you do something good, the more likely you are to repeat that good behavior, and the easier it'll be to keep doing it. So instill these good habits, instill these good things, and realize that little baby steps, like write things down, like tick them off, like we're moving towards goals that is going to make you happy. Like when you reach your goal, if you focus everything on reaching it, on that goal, and you don't see it as just enjoying the process, you're going to be miserable. Like when you get there, like let me tell you, like that much. Like, why do you think like so many of these people you look up to, like a lot of people you look up to, say, on social media, like they're probably extremely wealthy, like have huge followings, like, and have the perfect life. But I can tell you, like right now, that these people are miserable. Like they are no happier now than they were when they had absolutely nothing. Like why do you think like all these celebs like develop some sort of addiction further down the line? This is because like they've reached their goals. Like, they've realized that they're that just as happy and unfulfilled as when they reach their goals and their life goes to shit. So you got to enjoy the process. Like you got to enjoy what you're doing. Like be aware like that you are making progress. Like you got to be moving and progressing towards things. That's why it's so important just to log things and like set specific goals and then take note and acknowledge the movement and the progress that you've made towards it. And if you can plan your days towards your goals as well, like too many of us rely on external things for happiness, and we look at social media and we want to live the life that these people have, and like we look at all these things that we don't have, and we look in the external world, and that's okay. Like, and think to yourself, like, okay, when I get this, I'll be happy, or when I get this X amount of followers, I'll be happy, or when I start earning this amount of money, I'll be happy. And when I get this car or this girl or whatever it is, like I'm going to be happy. And let me say, like, that is not the case. Like, we spend our life trying to exchange our external environment to make ourselves internally happy, and we get the wrong, and we do it the wrong way around. Like, but yes, shoot for the big goals, but yeah, try get that money, try get that position, and try get them that car or whatever it is. But realize that's not going to bring you fulfillment. Like, if you want to change your internal self, like how you feel, you focus on the internal first. Like, you work at improving your internal narrative. You work at making yourself better. Like, you work at you do self audit. Like, you meditate, you become mindful. Like, I read something by Jordan Peterson before, actually, called Understand Yourself, and doing what I'm talking about, like making you understand yourself and seeing how you can improve and seeing how you can grow. And yeah, like, realize that too many people rely on external like factors and too much attachment to materialistic things. Like, it's not going to help you internally, like contrary to popular belief. And when you change the internal, the external will change. That way, it'll change the way you live. Like, you'll change your habits. Like, you'll change your outlook, you'll change your interactions with people. And I hate to throw it in there because, like, I feel like I throw it into everything, but I talk about, like, that's why mindfulness and meditation is so important, because that's like it's where it comes into play. Because when you're working on understanding your mind, you're working on becoming mindful and reflecting on things and being observant and like of your thoughts, and seeing where you can improve on, and seeing how you can become a better person. And you're just becoming to accept things and not repress them, and just observe and be more in touch with yourself. And I feel like I've gone massively off track here, but like, this wouldn't be a Brandon Mulholland podcast without it. But in summary, like, it's okay to not be okay, like, despite how cheesy that saying is. But it is okay to speak up for what's wrong. Like, it's okay to talk about your emotions. It's okay to be upset. Like, it's okay to be in anguish. Or to be in pain. Like, it's okay to be confused. It's okay to be lost. Like, that's completely normal. Like not even just in these times, just in general. But speaking like about it is the best, bravest thing you can possibly do. I see it as cowardice, like, and not living in fear. Or I see it as cowardice and living in fear, like, by not talking about these things to repress them and become a bitter person, like, because you're unhappy. And I want to say as well, like, summarizing again, like, do something, like, not do anything. Like, make your bed, like, keep your room tidy. Like, tidy room equals a tiny mind. And realize that you should be working towards goals. Like, you should be progressing, no matter how small or big. Do something. Just don't do not anything. Like, just start. Like, the hardest part is starting. Like, whether it is whatever pit you're in, like, just start and it'll get better. Like, do not allow for the stagnation. Like, if it has already occurred, like, move by baby steps. But yeah, I think that's enough of my rant anyway. That was my 2 cents on a few things. But yeah, hope it was useful. I find I had to add memory onto my podcast. That's why I hadn't uploaded in a while, but I have memory now, so I had to pay a bit of money to add a few more to my Spotify page. But yeah, drop me a DM if you have any questions, and I'm always willing to answer anything or talk about anything. So if you have any questions or suggestions for the next podcast, or just anything in general, just let me know. But yeah, that'll be it for now. It's enough for me spoofing. But yeah, thank you.